I logged into our shared account. Half of our savings were gone. Flight records, credit card transactions, bookings under her name for places I'd never set foot in. She hadn't just pushed me aside, she had been planning this for a while. That night, I didn't cry or yell. I just started writing a letter, but not to her. It was for her father, the man who once told me I was the best thing that ever happened to his daughter. He deserved to know what she had turned into, and I needed him to hear it from me. I folded the letter carefully, sealed it in an envelope, and wrote his name on the front with deliberate, steady handwriting. The next day, I shaved, got dressed, and walked back into the now-empty ballroom. The place that had been alive with celebration just days ago now stood still, staff clearing away centerpieces and sweeping up glitter like nothing had ever happened. I found a waiter stacking dishes and slipped him $100. "Can you get this to Mr. Callahan privately?" I asked. He nodded without a word. Then I turned and left, not just the room, but the life I thought I had. 2 days passed in silence. Not a single word from Elise. On the third day, I woke up to 53 missed calls. Elise, her mother, her father, even her brother. The voicemails varied from confusion to panic to anger. Then, one text came through from her father. "We need to talk." I had no idea. "You deserve better." "I'm sorry." That's when I understood. The truth hadn't just burned bridges. It had reduced everything to ash. That evening, I answered his call. He was quiet at first, then said, "She told us you walked out, that you didn't care." I laughed, cold and weary. "Yeah. She's good at rewriting stories." He sighed. "She emptied your account, lied about everything." I confronted her. She snapped. Apparently, the letter had cracked something open. Her father shared it with the rest of the family. Her mother cried. Her brother stormed off. Elise, she screamed that I was manipulating everyone, but it didn't matter anymore. The truth had surfaced, and for the first time in months, they believed me, not her. That shifted everything. She showed up at my hotel later that night. No warning, just pounding on the door. Her mascara was streaked down her face. "You humiliated me," she hissed. I stood there, calm. "No. I told the truth. You did the rest." She tried to cry, to beg, to twist everything as she always had. But something inside me had changed. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't flinch. I simply closed the door and locked it behind me. In the weeks that followed, everything fell apart for her. Her family distanced themselves. Her father called again to apologize, saying he could never look at her the same way. Even her friends, the ones who had once toasted us at our wedding, slowly started to pull away. She tried to spin a new narrative, but the letter was written in ink, and that ink didn't change. I closed our joint accounts, filed for divorce, and made sure every penny she'd taken was accounted for. Meanwhile, I began to rebuild, piece by piece: therapy, a new apartment, quiet mornings with black coffee and no lies, and peace. Real peace, for the first time in years. I didn't seek revenge. I simply needed clarity. And once the fog cleared, I saw it. Losing her hadn't been the heartbreak. It was believing she loved me. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do isn't to fight to stay. It's to walk away so silently that the truth echoes long after you're gone. I stood outside the banquet hall, my suit freshly pressed, holding a gift in hand, watching my wife laugh through the glass with her family. The doorman stepped in my path. "Family only," he said. My wife glanced over at me, gave a smirk, and turned away. I didn't argue. I simply handed the waiter a sealed envelope and walked away. Her name was Elise. We met at a bookstore, where she was browsing through Murakami. I was pretending to understand poetry. She laughed at my poor taste, and I fell for that laugh. That was the beginning. Gentle, slow, like a vinyl record warming up. She made me believe in love again. After years of building walls and half-hearted relationships, she managed to crack something inside me. We moved quickly. Dinner dates turned into weekend getaways, weekends into Elise, a ring, vows whispered under soft string lights. I didn't just marry her. I invested in her world, her life, her family. I paid off her student loans, bought her dad a new truck when his broke down. Her family adored me, or so I thought. We hosted holidays, and I became the go-to handyman whenever her parents' house needed repairs. Every time her father raised his glass, it was me he thanked. At least, that was the way it was, until it stopped. The changes were gradual. Subtle shifts I chose to ignore. Her mother stopped calling me son. Her brother's jokes became more biting. Elise grew distant in ways I couldn't quite explain. Always busy, always distracted, always tired. I blamed work, stress, life. But in the quiet moments, I could feel it, a hum, a sense that something was wrong. That sensation you get when the lights are still on, but someone's already left the room. I just didn't know how far gone she really was. The invitation came via group text. Elise, her siblings, and me. It was her father's retirement party, black tie, hotel ballroom. "Let's make it special," she wrote. I offered to cover the costs, the venue, catering, open bar. No one objected. I flew out early to help with the setup. Elise didn't meet me at the airport. "Busy with the decorator," she texted. When I arrived at the hotel, her name wasn't on the room reservation like she'd promised. So I booked one myself. The night of the party, I showed up in the suit she'd picked out for me months ago. But as I approached the entrance, the doorman blocked my way. "Sorry, sir. Family only." I looked past him and saw Elise inside, wine in hand, laughing with her brother. She saw me, smirked, and turned away. That moment hit me like a cold, clean wave. I knew then, without a doubt, that I wasn't her husband anymore. I was just the wallet she hadn't closed yet. I didn't return to the hotel right away. I walked for hours through neon-lit streets and shuttered shops, past strangers laughing in the night. Their joy felt like static in my ears. Back in the room, I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at nothing. My phone stayed silent, no messages. Not even a lie to ease the sting. I replayed everything, our wedding, her promises, the slow decay of our relationship, every sacrifice I'd made, every moment I thought we were building something real. And then it hit me, the small things I had overlooked, the hidden calls, the private dinners. She'd even changed her phone password last month, but she forgot to mention that.